Hey everyone, welcome to Broadband Deployment News. The state of Colorado has released a new broadband mapping hub. Be right back, we'll take a look at that. Thanks for joining me. Rick Uzzi here with Zquorum with Broadband Deployment News. So, the state of Colorado has released this broadband mapping hub. So I want to take a quick look at it. Just make sure you're aware of this. I think it's pretty interesting. This could be interesting for other states that are putting together their broadband maps. You might want to maybe, take some ideas from this and incorporate those into their maps. It's a great resource if you're in Colorado, if you're a service provider, or some other community or stakeholder there to see what they've got. So you can see this is the hub right here. So as I scroll down here, you see they've got broadband map information about grant programs. You can look at the data, speed tests that consumers can do. Some facts here. So it looks like 88.8% of households are served with 100 by 20, excuse me. And that's kind of what they're looking for, as that's being the kind of the unserved. Anything under that is considered underserved according to the federal government and the most recent federal programs that they're doing, especially BEAD. But you can also on the map switch to 25 by 3 if you wanted to see what that was as well. Total households without 100 by 20, they've got 170,000. So good number, 88, almost 90% have over that. Now, the data that they're using right now is from the latest FCC broadband map. So a lot of people will say that that's not accurate, that, in some cases the locations were not, and this is true, a lot of the locations in the first go round of the map were not there because the first iteration of the broadband fabric that had all of the serviceable locations was not complete. A lot of it's been corrected and will be much better on the next iteration of the map that comes out sometime probably in mid-May to maybe June. And that'll be corrected, but they are looking at data from that map. And then also there's the question of availability and whether internet service providers reported all of their availability correctly. Were they fudging the numbers, especially on those kind of areas that are close to unserved and underserved? In other words, if they were saying they provided 25 by 3 and maybe it's less than that, or 100 by 20 and it's a little bit less than that. So there's still those questions. Now, it looks like the state of Colorado also is collecting information directly from ISPs, the same kind of information that they're reporting to the FCC. They're wanting to collect that directly. And if you want to get a grant from the state of Colorado, you have to do that. It's not required like it is with the FCC, unless you want to get money from the state, in which case it is required. So they're collecting that separately, although from what I could read, it sounds like in this first go-round, they're just using the FCC data. And if it's all the same, it doesn't matter anyway, because they're accepting the data in the same format as the FCC would accept it. So if somebody's filing with the FCC, they would just send the same data to the state of Colorado. So I'm not sure of the reason for doing it in both places, except that way the state, I guess, is getting it reported to them as well. I see here they've got some information on grants. The total awarded locations from their Colorado Broadband Office programs, 37,000, almost 38,000 locations, and then almost $92 million awarded from those. It says both of those are as of December 31st of 2022. The Ookla speeds, median speed download are 120 megabits per second, and then upload 17.5 megabits per second. So probably a lot of cable, which is not bringing that upload number down. And then, of course, DSL and others that are, well below probably 100 by 20 that are bringing that down as well. But, as you see more fiber, you're going to see these upload speeds or average kinds of speeds go up as we see more fiber taking over in different places. Then they've got their broadband map here. You can click there to go to that. I will show that map. They've got information on their Colorado broadband data collection, which again is kind of similar to what the FCC is collecting, same data and same format as far as I can tell. There's a link to the FCC broadband map, and then there's the National Broadband Availability Data Map from Broadband USA. So I get some of the links in here. They've got their grant discovery portal, which allows grant applicants to view grant program eligibility factors, but then they've also got a grant awards dashboard, which I'm going to take a look at as well, that shows information on grants that are already in process, those that are pending, been approved, completed, those kinds of things. I've got a few other things in here, and then you can take a speed test right there if you are wanting to do that. And this may be, actually, this could be what reports the speeds on the broadband map that we're going to look at, because it's kind of cool that the Colorado broadband map will show you the speeds in that particular area that you select from Ookla. So it's very possible that's when you go here, that's where it's getting that data from and aggregating it. So let's take a first look here, quick look at the map itself. So you see here right now I've got nothing selected on the side. So you've got county, house, district, municipality, region, school district, senate district, state boundaries. You can select any of those to look at the data. Right now, looking at everything, it says state progress 88.8%. I think that's maybe progress towards getting everything over 100 by 20. You've got the different locations over here that you can see, the different counties, and it kind of gives you an idea of the percentage of locations in that county that are over 100 or 100 by 20 or better. So you've got San Juan County is only 1%, Dolores County only 1%, gets a little better as you get down in here, 47% in Montezuma County. I wonder if you can drink the water there. Then you get a little bit further down here, and then as we get to Denver County, which you might expect, that's, you know, the capital, and, you know, you're going to have probably the most urban area. You've got Denver County listed 100%. So you can't click on these and do anything as far as I can find out, but you can go in here and get more information. For example, if I click just this very first county here, this is Adams County. This is going to pull up Adams County information. You can see it's showing that they've got 96.3% that are over 100 by 20. And again, this just stays the same. The state progress, 88.8%. I don't think that changes as we go here. Then you've got your Ookla speeds. Looks like 216, almost 217 megabits per second down and about 18 megabits per second up, average in that county. So those are not real time, those are real speeds though. And these are all as of 2022, I believe, right there. So this is not necessarily completely current. So these could be changing, obviously, most likely improving, although, you know, certainly could go down if somebody gets a little bit congested, but most likely you're going to see these speeds going up as more broadband's deployed in more areas. So you've got your speeds right here. Again, if I click another county, this would be Alamosa County, and this one's 77%. You can see the speeds have dropped a little bit here. So that takes you down to 78. And again, I don't think this is doing anything real time on these, but you got 78 megabits per second and then 13.4 going up for that county. I'll click one more just right here in the beginning. And this is very close to Denver. This is Arapahoe County. So you can see being close to Denver, 98.5%, and then 88.8%. Again, that doesn't change. So your 98.5% is what they show there. And you've got your kind of your median speeds, again, better here than in most places, 223.5 megabits per second down and 21.8 megabits per second up, which is kind of interesting because as you see these upload speeds, these median speeds, you'll find that they're not really much over the 20 megabits per second and the 100 by 20, even when they get over. And that's just because upload speeds in general have, number one, they've not been really that necessary. They're getting more so. I think right now, upload speeds are mostly a marketing thing because 20 megabits per second is more than fast enough for just about anything anybody's going to be doing because most of what we're doing is downloading stuff. And even what I'm doing today, streaming 21, 22 megabits per second is more than sufficient for that. But it's a marketing kind of checkbox that if you're offering fiber and you can say you can do symmetrical speeds, so you could do 200 by 200 or a gig by a gig, and everybody's like, wow, that's great. But mostly what you want is download because that's really what most people are using. So if you've got multiple people in the family that are streaming stuff, you know, movies, those kinds of things, it's mostly download. And even multiple people doing Zoom calls and whatnot, 20 megabits per second generally has no problem supporting that. But it's interesting to see that, again, this is probably showing that a lot of technology that people have out here or that they're subscribing to are not symmetrical. So they're much higher on the download than on the upload, which is the way it's been traditionally. That's going to change as we have more needs for upload. But again, it's still going to be I think it's always going to be more needed on the download side until we get to something really, really unique technologies, maybe augmented. I don't know about augmented reality, virtual reality, those kinds of things. There might be those might interact or affect what's needed on the upload side more, I suppose. And again, Denver County, is that even listed? Denver, is it listed? Yeah, Denver County here. That's showing 99.9, so that's where you get the 100%. Interesting that the download and the upload are not as high as the county we were just looking at, which was near Denver. So you got 109.7, and then you got 12.4 here. So there's not much else on this map. You can see the, if I scroll out here, let's see, can I scroll out? Yeah. Whoop. Gotta go the other way. And it should reload. So I can scroll out and I can see the different colors, and you can see what they're showing here in the legend as far as percent served. So as you get these lighter colors, it's going to be less than 20% served. The darker colors are going to be over 75% served. And then when you click on a county, you get the stats for that county as well. Here you can see the percent served. Percent served, it's got 100 by 20 and 25 by 3. So those are your two tiers for what we would call unserved and underserved. Underserved right here, unserved right here as far as the BEAD program goes. And then you got the grants, total grants in that location. And the more information about grants, you can visit the grant dashboard here. So that pulls up a link to that. And you can also get to that from the dashboard page here as well, as I mentioned. There's the grant dashboard right there, and I've got that open. So this is what the grant dashboard looks like when you first open it up. And you can see when you first open it up, it's got no selections as far as filtering. So I'm looking at the state in general. So I've got how many dollars have been awarded through the Colorado Broadband Office, 90 million approximately, 43.8 million in matching funds, so almost a 50% match total. And then the total projected costs, 133.6, total project cost, 133.6 million. So that's your two numbers added up there. And then you've got the number of locations and the total awarded funds per location right there. So $2,440 per location total when you look at it. Right here we've got our grant funds awarded, matching funds, and total project cost, just the kind of the pie chart, or not pie chart, bar chart there. Now I can select the two different programs that they've got. I'm not sure what this is, the Broadband Office HCSM. I should have looked that up beforehand. I'm not sure what that is, but when I click that, that's going to show me just those funds, and you'll see that's 29,000 awarded, about 1,900 per location. You can see the matching funds not quite as much as percentage-wise. So you've got 56.1 million. No, excuse me, more. This is more than 50%. So you got, right, 30, 60. No, sorry, that's not. Then you got 29.7 million. What was I looking at here? So that's the HCSM. And again, you've got your charts right here, but then I can click on this and take that one away. Okay, and here's where I've got not as much on the matching fund. So this is the SLFRF. That's the local fiscal recovery funds, I think, that are coming through ARPA. And this I guess could be the capital. Maybe that's the capital projects funds. I'm not sure. Anyway, this is almost certainly the ARPA local fiscal recovery funds, because that's their same acronym there. And you've got 34.3 million funds awarded, 14.1 million as far as matching funds. So not as much percentage-wise matching funds there. And you've got your total project cost, 47.6 million, and a little bit higher here on the awarded funds per location, 4,269, 8,000 locations. Then you can also, you can look, I'm just going to go ahead and click both of those again, and you can look by an area. So you can look by an area, a year, an area. You can select applications, select a place type, a county. We'll look at a county. So municipality, region. Oh, you can't select a specific county. You can look at the counties. You can look at municipalities. What does that do for me? And that's changing this map here. So I noticed that earlier when I was looking at this. So I can zoom in here. Wow, that's really, it looks like mountainous area. Not sure why. And then I can select, instead of I'm going to put county again. County. Let's go county. Let's see what that does. Oh, so it's going to put the county information in there. So I can look around in here. And again, like the other map, I can click in and see specifically on a county what I've got. Let's look at Adams County. That was one of the first ones on the broadband map. And I think I'm going to get similar information, but here I'm getting, let's see. So I've got, again, 99.92% served. So this county was very well served. 54 locations are without 25 by 3, so I get some good information there. 142 are without 100 by 20, but there's 177,600 total locations. You've got your percentages there that I think we saw earlier on the map. You got your mean download speeds, your mean upload speeds, latency, mean latency 26 milliseconds, median download, median upload, and median latency. And then you got your grant counts of 1 there in that area. And then you've also got, you can look at project status here, and this is going to change what's showing up on the map. So I can look at, right now none are selected as far as filters, but I can look at, for example, completed. And when I do that, that should have, yeah, that changed my data there, I believe, didn't it? Let me check again. Project status, none. Thought I changed that, none. So it's changing the, yeah, so it definitely changed those numbers. So you've got your 90.4 million funds award, but if I look at completed, 26.5 million, or I can change that to what's pending. There we go, pending. I got 20.1 million pending. And again, you've got your data down here. And then again, the map is changing as I make those changes. So if I look at active, if you look at the map, there's not that much changing because the map, I think it's these colors here. The map is showing you broadband. I can take that off. So I go over to the filters here and I can take off, let's see, layers. I can take off broadband coverage. And that removes the broadband coverage. And now I think I'm just looking at the projects. So again, if I go back in here and I look at completed, you should see the map change. Yep, so you got your completed locations there that you're looking at. And I can go in, if I click that, again, I get some information here. This is Futurum Communications Corporation DBA Brainstorm Internet. So this is showing me information about the particular grant awardee, it looks like. There's their name, application year. So some of this, 2016, so some of these funds would have been prior to BEAD or even ARPA. Futurum Communications, and obviously nobody's got anything from BEAD, so this is prior to ARPA. Application totals, what do we got else? Yeah, so you got your BDB HCSM, so that's whatever that Colorado broadband grant program is. You got the amount awarded, looks like 701, about $700,000. Matching funds about $23,000. The total project cost $993,000. That's not. No, it's $70,000. Yeah, $70,000. Weird with all those zeros. $70,000. Grant funds awarded, $23,000. Matching funds. Total project cost about $93,000. Then you've got your shape area and length. So it's, I guess, your shape file there. So that's, if you click on that, if I click on the county, I'll probably get county data. Let's see. Yeah, now I'm just getting county data specifically, and you'll see down at the bottom, the grant count is 3. So there's 3 grants in that county. That may be 3 grants encompassed right here. And same thing in here, I can click on those. So that would be, right now we're looking at completed. We can look at, for example, pending. And we've got some pending ones here in these counties. So if I just click something like maybe right here, see what we get. So that is a substation. Looks like maybe electric substation. Interesting. And let's say $276. So that's a small little project, I think. Let's look over here, zoom in a little bit. So now I'm getting in closer. So you can see, I think, as we get in here, this is more granular, lots of little squares. So lots of little squares in this area. So I don't know if these are each individual. Let's click one. So I obviously didn't explore this completely before I got on the air here, but so this is Stratus IQ Woodman Valley, 2022 application year, $141. So these look like, I'm not sure exactly why these are as they are. These are small and pending. Let me take a look at active. Active didn't change that much, so active took some stuff off of there. This is El Paso County. That's just the county. It's county info. Let's see. Let me click this little box right here. See if I get anything. That's again just the county. So again, I got 9 grant counts, but I'm not seeing any information on the grant. So anyway, you can explore this on your own. Like I said, I looked at it. I didn't go completely drilling in here prior to going on the air here, but you can see here that there's a lot of good information on this. Let's see, I got a question here. Can you link this map in the comments? It's not in the comments, but if you go down to the description of the video, you'll see that I put a link to the Broadband Hub, a link to the map, and there's an FAQ. So basically everything I'm showing there, you'll find links to those in the description of this video. So there is a link to this map. There's a link to this particular, I think I linked to this grant page. And then there's also this FAQ. So you can get, as you're looking at this, you can get a little bit more information about what they're doing here on the hub. And there's a link to the National Broadband Map, some other things in here. And then where does the data come from? So there's a link to the FCC site where you can download data. So the data that they're looking at, just like the FCC map, is all current as of June 30th, 2022. And that's just based on when the data was collected. This is availability data that they're talking about there. So availability data was collected from internet service providers from the period of, yeah, is that right? Yeah, from, I thought it was June through September. Maybe it was, okay, maybe June 30th was the last date. Maybe that was the last date, was June 30th. So that would be the filing window for the broadband data collection from the FCC. So that's the last time that broadband operators uploaded their availability data. And that is the data that eventually made it in the broadband map, the federal national broadband map that we're all looking at right now. And that data is currently being updated by ISPs. So they're uploading their newest data and much more accurate data this time, I think, into the broadband data collection fabric. And that will then be creating the next revision of the map sometime out, as I mentioned, probably mid-May to end of May, maybe early June, somewhere in there. It depends on, I guess it depends on, it might, I could see it maybe going a little bit longer now because the FCC's, with some of the criticism they're getting, they may want to just make sure they can get as many changes in there prior to actually publishing the map. But the NTI is planning on sticking to their June 30th date of determining what the allocations are going to be for each state. So, the map's going to have to come out prior to that, I think. And like I say, I still think it's going to be in May, but we'll have to see where that goes. That's just my guess. So anyway, that's a look at the Colorado broadband stuff. And I see you found it in the description. That's great. So thanks for joining me. If this was helpful, if you'd give me a like on the video, I'd appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, click the subscribe button and click the bell to be notified when I'm live. And make sure you check us out. You see our website there. You've got our email address and our phone number. So check out what we do. So if you're a broadband provider or a broadband office that needs a company that can maybe help some broadband providers in your area, that's what we've been doing since we began, pretty much. We started as an internet service provider in the mid-90s, really the early 90s. As just an ISP providing dial-up, but pretty quickly got into more wholesale internet services for other companies that wanted to get in the internet business. And at the beginning, it was all dial-up, but as the technology progressed, it was DSL and then cable modem and fiber and whatnot. And we provide all kinds of services or internet service providers. So we can be of assistance to you if you're an internet service provider, or again, you're maybe a broadband office and you're looking for resources or companies that can help some operators in your area. Make sure that you check us out. You see our website and our contact info there. Just reach out to us. We'd be happy to help. If it's just information you want, be happy to help. Just let us know. Again, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be live at 3 o'clock specifically, because tomorrow I'm going to be talking about a product called FiberView that provides management and configuration and activation of fiber devices. And that's a particular product that we have for some kind of less known OLTs and ONTs, or maybe not less known, but maybe some that you can't have in this country. So especially if you're a service provider, happen to be watching this in another country, you've got Huawei equipment or ZTE, that's something that we can provide in other areas. We can't do that in this country because that's the equipment that's not that you're not allowed to use in this country. There's certain manufacturers from China, for example, that you can't use, but in other countries we have that product available, and it also does support actually other various kinds of equipment. So if you don't want to be locked into a particular service provider's management and provisioning system, that's something that we can offer. In addition to our TrueVision product, which supports major Adtran, Calix, Nokia, but we sell that in this country. We don't support. We've not bothered to support some of these other brands with that software. So we do have FiberView for that. So check that out 3 o'clock tomorrow if you want to join me. Again, if you're not subscribed, click the subscribe button, click the bell. You'll be notified at that time. But tomorrow, 3 o'clock. For Tech Tuesday. So hope to see you then. And then broadband deployment news will continue on Wednesday. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.